Hello ladies and gentlemen, I've had this boosted board for a year. I fell in love with it right away, and now, a full 12 months later, I'd like to do a review on what it's like living with a boosted board. We have about 10 minutes until the rain falls, so I'm going to try and get a few things done, but we may get cut short today.
So the first thing to say about this board is it's really fast. It's stupid fast. It can go up to 30 kilometers an hour. So here I am at full speed. It's already way too fast for me, so I'm going to slow down a little bit. The other thing worth mentioning about this board is it's really easy to stop. So here we go. That was about medium speed. If you apply the brakes fully, you're literally going to be falling off the front unless you're super prepared for it. So stopping is really fast, and then accelerations are also crazy. So here's me fully hitting the accelerator on the controller. Now that I'm in a little bit more of a secluded area that's less awkward, I could go over some of the features of the boosted board that I absolutely love, starting with the build and the design.
So you'll see on the underside of the boosted board, the battery is bolted on to the bamboo deck, and then you also have the motor as well on the other end. Now you may think that this would compromise the flexibility and the feel of the board, but it really doesn't. It's still super flexible, and it doesn't feel awkward at all. One thing that's definitely worth mentioning about this board is the trucks. So you can see the clearance is pretty low there. You're going to be bottoming out quite a bit. Just be careful around potholes as you really would be with any other longboard. This board has bright orange orangutan wheels. These things are super badass. It adds a really nice touch to the board, makes it a little extra flashy.
Getting the first bit of raindrops on me, which leads me to probably the second thing that isn't as great about the first gen, and that is the weatherproofing of it. Definitely not something you want to get wet. It's got out in a light rain, but anything more than that, you're probably going to be in trouble. It's officially starting to rain now, so I'm heading back home. Okay, made it.
So I thought now that it's hooked up, I could go over my experience with charging the board. You're plugging it in right into the battery, and then it turns red. Green means that it's fully charged. So 60 minutes and this bad boy is going to be fully charged. On days that you're going longer distances, you can always bring the charger with you. This thing's actually pretty light. I'd say that it's maybe 3 pounds at most. The only complaint that I have to charging the board is the little cover for the power. So you'll see here, when I try to close it, it's really kind of finicky getting the little cover over. So it always tends to just pop right back out. Small complaint, but after a few tries, it normally sticks. The rain is gone, and we're going to be taking out the boosted board again. So this is attempt 2. Now with more orangey wheels thanks to the rain.
One thing a lot of people have asked me is how long it took me to master the boosted board. So coming from somebody who skateboarded when they were younger but never owned a longboard, it took me about a couple days to get used to it, but after that it was pretty smooth sailing. Definitely some dark clouds coming, so I probably only have a few more minutes to finish the field demo. So I've went over 300 kilometers on this board. I haven't had to service it, haven't had any issues with the electronics, any build issues. So almost 300 kilometers and not a single thing to report. So I mean, just impressive, really.
Another thing definitely worth mentioning is the boosted board app. So this thing is really more fun than anything else. I haven't found much use out of it. The biggest reason for that is the original boosted boards don't have the ability to operate the app while the board's in use. If I wanted to, on the fly, change the mode or see how much battery I have left, I'd have to stop, turn off the remote, and then this thing starts working. Zoom, it's off. This should now pretty quickly detect my boosted board. So now 56% battery. You can see overall how many kilometers I've done on this thing. I'm not sure if you can see in the light, but it's close to 300. And you can also change the mode, so you can see there's Eco, Expert, and Beginner. So right from the app, if I change it to Eco, that's going to change the mode and save the battery. Another thing people ask me quite a bit is if you can use this as a regular longboard, and the answer is yes. It's just really the wheels, the rear wheels that are attached to the belt, they don't really spin quite easily. There's a lot of resistance there. The front wheels are totally fine, but it's the rear that slow you down. So in a pinch, you could still get home on the thing. One of the last things I'd want to talk about is the battery on the boosted board.
Earlier this week, I actually took the board from work to home just to test how the battery would perform a year later. Now, I was in eco mode. It said that I could get 11 kilometers of range when I was leaving work. My house is 11 kilometers away from work, and I was able to cruise in without losing power at all. So that pretty much concludes the review for the boosted board. It's totally worth every penny, in my opinion. So from somebody who loved skateboarding as a kid, this thing was a dream come true. Boarding is awesome all around, so if you can't afford a boosted board, get a longboard, penny board, skateboard. You're gonna have just as much fun. You can get a lot of that similar experience by getting something a lot cheaper. But if you do have the money, the boosted board is worth every cent.